dearie me.
Here we go.
Right, bed chair. My lorry. Going. Go on. Well, this is us. Tar Farm Lake 8, which is my favourite lake on this complex of Tar Farm. And we've got 7, and we've got 8 to be fair. These are very close together, so we booked them both. They're all bookable on the Go Catch app, so we're not nicking swims off of people. And I've done really well in the winter in these pegs. So I did split the rods, they're very close together, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to have to check the areas, which is something most people don't do with a marker rod in a minute. But throughout the winter, I've done really well on here. I had a 2-nighter and a 3-nighter and ended up with 20 odd fish. It's very deep, and I think I caught it just before they were going to go a little bit comatose, because it's very deep here. We've got 28 foot here, and I was getting them at a 16 foot, roughly where that coot is out there. So I'll have a little sling around with a float. Do you know what? Before I do that, I come on here for the winter. Last June I was here, and a guy had a 52-pound fully scaled and a young fish, and it looks immaculate. So I thought, well, I'll shelve that until December, when the lake quietened down. It was very quiet. I've done a few trips on here. Tom also had a couple of trips on here back. We spun the swims through Go Catch, and both done all right. But we come on here thinking we were looking for one big fish. I had 22 fish. The average weight was probably getting on for mid-30s. I had a 41.5. Tom had a good few, as he would do, up to 44.5. So now we were playing with more fish than we emphasised we would be playing with. But neither of us, and she still hasn't been out that big one since last June, July. So, and now it's spring, which is why we're all wrapped up like it's still winter. But without further ado, I think marker rod's going to come out. I'll have a little play around. We've got loads of deep water here. I want to find the slightly shallower areas to present on or put zigs on. So, marker rod it is. Well, that definitely ain't it. There we go. Right, we've got 10.5 foot there, 10 foot and a little bit, oh, another van's turning up, a little bit on a boom. So this is the spot I was catching a few from last year prior to Christmas. So I just had to check the depth. It's 18.5 wraps, really smooth and lovely out there. So that's going to be the rod. We're going to have one single rod here and 2 just there. Okay, so we're splitting the rods. Now, the left-hand one over there, I'll leave that for a minute like that. Left-hand one over there is going to be, I think I've written it down, I think it's 12 or 13 wraps just down the bank. Okay, again, we've got 13 to 14 foot there. I'm glad it goes 10 foot we had on the float and it's gone like that. So we've set it in 13 to 14 foot. That I'm just going to fish bags of maggots, to be fair. It's that time of year still when they should get the results. So literally just bags of maggots, no freebies on that one, not to start with. And if it comes to it, I'll crush up a load of ice cream boilies and got some sweet corn there, because spotting maggots still isn't allowed on here. So we'll have big bags of maggots on that one. The middle rod, as we say, the right hand rod over there, is going to be 12, 13 foot zig. We'll get to that, which is quite boring really, isn't it? Because it's just a zig. This one, I don't know, I might put a tin of corn out there, which is mimicking what I've done before in the cold weather, and either fish a little bag of maggot on top of it or a little bit of plastic corn. Historically, I change my mind about every 32 seconds, so that may change in a minute. They won't change. This is what I'm going to leave till last, get them sorted. Whatever's going out there, like, I'm just going to repeat myself, it's going to be either a little bag of maggot or a little stack of plastic corn. So now we need to get rods in the water. Let's get you in the ground, darling. Get in there. Now, one of the other one went in nice and easy, didn't it? My lucky number, by the way, that is 13's my lucky number. We'll see how that pans out, shall we, in the next couple of days. Right, 3 times round, that gives it a buffer so it doesn't damage the line. enough. All right, there we are. 5 spoms of corn and 10 ml ice creams. I'm not going to go crazy, we've got all day. Just try and nick a bite once the rod's in place, obviously. We can always put it in, but we can't take it out. There you go. That's a very old and often said piece of, should we call it, philosophy, eh? So there we go, we've got 5 spoms. Now it definitely is get rods in water time. Nice little plonk there. Right, here we go. I'll explain what the crack is so far. So we've got the left rod, I think that's at 13, he's at 13 because I mentioned that was my lucky number, with a bag of maggot on it in 13, 14 foot of water. This one, now this is 17 foot of water. We've done about an 11.5 foot zig, which is why the bobbin is glued to the rod. This one's got a little drop on it because we've done a margin. So that's 2 out of the 3 done. I've still got to do the right hand one, which is in the next little peg there. And I think what I might do with that one is also a big ball of maggots to start with. Over, you can see I've put corn and some 10 ml ice cream, but we'll put a ball of maggot out to start with. Play it by ear because I am, like I said earlier, I'm always changing my mind. Do you know how many feathers do you find in your swim? There's a sign. That's an omen. So without further ado, 3rd rod, whip it up, get it in play. There you go. Nice. Fully scaled. Fully scaled, mate, all over it. This is also one that the swans were able to hear that from up there. We'll lift this all the way up. Right, Tar Farm Complex. Now this I believe has been open about 5 years. Couldn't tell you the amount, there's about 6 or 7 lakes on the site. I have fished them all fleetingly over the years. I like coming here because it's less busy than the main site at Linear, which has got the Manor, St John's, Oxley's, bloody. Love these lakes, they're numbered as well. So it's now, before we go any further, they are on the Go Catch booking app, so you do have to do that before you venture the 1 mile down that little country lane to come and have a little look, or come and have a little look, but you still have to book before you can fish. Anyway, the lake we're on at the moment, Lake 8. I think this is a bit of a freak of nature, this one, because this is, I've fished them all, and they're quite young lakes regarding fish stocks. They've all got 20 pound, they've all got 30 pounders in, and 2 or 3 of them have got a scrape of 40. This one behind me is just bonkers for whatever reason. Biggest fish in here is 52 plus. It's got a small head of good 40s in it, but it's got an immense head of fish between 33 and 39 pound. So whatever's in this lake, their environment is super clean, super healthy, and they're growing super fast. The others I've fished, mainly, let's think of the numbers now, 6, 5, 4's through the gate, 7's just there. I've fished them all, caught fish from all of them, but you're looking mainly at upper doubles through to sort of low 30s at a push. But they're all good lakes, bags of pellet, beds of pellet. Again, pellet fishing is something that's forgotten. All these fish in all these lakes behind me and over there in the main complex have all nowadays been bred on pellet. It's the least used bait I see. When I come on here, if the weather's right, I'll stick out 5 kilo pellet, fish solid bags over the top of it. If it's cold, find the fish, put solid bags at them. Pellet though, which is why they're growing so well, I think, on all the lakes. But this one, Lake 8, Freak City, and isn't that nice? You can come down here, book on. It's a lovely looking lake. They're all very deep as well, so don't be put off by the depths of water. Use a marker float or go on site, and every lake has got a depth contours lake in feet and metres, so there's no excuse not to know what you're fishing at, and they all line up the pegs with the other bank, so you can do that as well. So Tar Farm, come and have a go, pick which lake suits your style of angling. Expect deep water for zigging, expect shallow areas for solid bags, pellet fishing, but you've got it all. Come and have a look at Tile Farm. Good morning. We are alive, that is the good part. I've been up quite a few hours. I got up 1:30, the fish walloping out good and woke me up, to be fair. So I got up, stood here, then there was another one slightly right, which is in the area where I had the zig. Now yesterday, to be fair, because I'm so blimmin' hyperactive, it works against me sometimes. I had moved the zig away from that area and put it on the bottom next to the one over here. So sometimes impatience does not pay off. My cold is really suffering because of being up most of the night. But I got back in bed because only 3 had showed. Then I heard wallop and wallop, so it's like, well, I can't do that. I need to get up. So I pulled both these in, tied a fresh zig on one of them, used the zig we'd used yesterday, wrapped them both at 17 and put them on the fish. 17 foot of water, 12 foot zigs, all the way down, bang. Lovely. Bosh, bosh, bosh. This is so unusual for this venue we were bang on them. 2 zigs bang on them in the night. By the time I got to bed, I'm guessing it was about 2:30, 3:15. Couldn't sleep, bosh, bosh, expecting one of these to drop to the floor anytime, but they didn't. So, me being me, we hadn't covered this period yesterday on this lake because we weren't on this lake. We was on the road this time yesterday. So the zig should have gone. There was in a group of jumping fish right high in the water. So me being me, an hour ago, still in the dark, it's like, right, have one of them in, put it back on the baited area that we done yesterday, and this is exactly how I angle. I am going to drive Scott mad. Back on the area I baited yesterday, and that's where we stand at the moment. We've still got one zig out in the area they were bouncing last night or early morning, and now I've got one back on the bait that I put out yesterday, which was your cool and your 10mm ice cream. So the rod in the next little peg there, not a single bleep, but realistically that was the one I was banking on, because you know, previous trips that had done a fish every evening between about 5:30 and let's say 7:30 anyway at the latest. But we are in a different month. That was in December. This is now almost April, isn't it? Wow. April Fool's tomorrow. Who's the fool? Well, we're going to leave them now for a couple of hours. I'm going to find it impossible to sit on my hands, but I'm gonna until we see any fish. But I'm amazed to get 2 zigs. I mean, the thing is with my angling, I do not stop working just because it's dark. You know, you've got skyline markers, you've got wrap sticks, and you've got torches. I will work literally every hour of 24 hours to catch a fish if I have to, and it hasn't worked yet, but I will keep punching the drum, and we'll see how the day goes. I haven't seen anything since I've been up, I've got to be honest. I'll keep diversifying, but we'll see. We've had a little bit of rain, which wasn't forecast. Thank you, weathermen. How they keep getting it wrong, I do not know. But it's due to be a warmer, a little bit breezy, which is a little bit breezy. Yesterday it was like the Antarctic yesterday. It's ridiculous. It's got to be affecting the way these fish behave. We'll see though. So the 3 rods are back in play now. I'm going to go and put the kettle on, make me and the young man over there a cup of tea, Yorkshire, and then we'll keep you posted. But other than that, damn good morning. Well, we've had nothing on the 12 foot. We are over 17 foot of water. And maybe they're just that little lower, you know. Zig fishing is the most simple way of angling when you discover the depth that they're actually swimming at. Now, yes, they were jumping about. Doesn't mean to say they're swimming 12 foot off the bottom. They might just be 10 foot off the bottom. So you have to keep working it to find where you're at. So we'll give this a couple of hours, unless we see what's going on. I mean, things in carp angling change by the minute, by the second. Now I have had them on 10 foot zigs, but that was against the bank over there, just off the edge where it was 16 foot of water. So we're going to try that. now, but I've got to disappear first and rewrap it and then go for it. So yeah, it's always worth tinkering with a jig. You know, we can all sit there all day thinking, oh, we should have had a bite, but try and make that bite happen. It's different. So I'm going to go and wrap that now, and then we'll lob it back out in the general area where them fish were early this morning. Right, I need to explain what this is all about. You know, with zig fishing, you are casting a crazy length of hook link out there. I've also got 3 foot of lead core on, which the rod's, you know, started to trip on the lake bed, and I sort of don't want to cut that off, and that would grip it mid-air, trust me. So these, I use these anyway, lead core or not, but they'll separate it in the air, hit the clip, it throws it forward, as we know, even with rigs that are going on the lake bed. And you can see, because it's a bigger item, that they land separately, so you know it's not tangled. And there you go, mate. The PVA will melt, they'll go up the top, seagulls will eat them, all the ducks, and we're fishing. So, without further ado, we'll get a 10-footer out there now, instead of a 12. We need to start making things blooming well happen, because we should have had a couple of fish last night, because we didn't stop working. We definitely earned them, but they didn't come our way.